Sterling Holmes of FanSided, joined now by phenomenal actor and chili maker Brian Baumgartner. Brian, how are you?
I'm great. How's it going?
I'm doing outstanding. We were talking a little bit before this here in Kansas City. A lot of optimism
A
around
lot of
KC.
optimism in
So
in KC. Yeah.
shocking, I know. So things are well over here, but I do want to start first and foremost. You're rocking a great hat, and I know you have a great partnership with Sam Adams. As a avid adult beverage consumer myself, that Oktoberfest lager is absolutely top tier. What all do you have working with Sam Adams?
Well, yes, you're right. Some might call it legendary, Sterling. There's something about it also that the fact that you can only get it at certain times of the year makes it that much more special. And it also signals that it's time for football to start and specifically fantasy football to get going. As you may or may not know, my friends on The Office and myself have been participating in a fantasy football league for now 20 years. I just got a text from the commissioner last night. I have the second pick in. I don't know that I'm going to take any Chiefs, by the way, but I do with the second pick. If
Fair.
you made a face, if you think that's a mistake, I'd be really interested to hear who you think I should take. But yeah, they put together this commissioner's kit, a really fun idea to give something back, and it includes a gavel, and I'm a fan of gavels, so you can't rule without a gavel.
You got to have a gavel. I mean, it just seems so much more official. By the way, I'm shocked that you are not the commissioner. I feel like you should be the
No,
commissioner.
God, no, I no, but I'm sending my commissioner a gift. I mean, look at this thing. It says the
Strong.
commit a strong, right? This vest for the commissioner? No. No, hell no. I don't have the patience for that, for sure. And I don't like, as a rule, Sterling, I don't like getting yelled at for just following the rules or asking others to follow the rules, which it seems like that's really what happens with the commissioner.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to send that to me, okay? Because I was commissioner in my college league for a long time, but I kept winning, so they kicked me out of commissioner, and then I of course won last year as non-commissioner just to prove a point to them. So I felt pretty good about that. When it comes to team names, what are you rocking with? Is it office related? Is it inside jokes? Is it just lame? Where's your team name come from?
No, it's lame. Or here it's either lame or it's just grown up. I don't know. I mine's boring. And now I was talking to somebody before. I, I don't know if it's nostalgia or something, but now I don't want to change it because it's been so long and I've had the same sort of boring standard. It's not my name, but sort of like as close as you can get to it type name for all these years. So now I'm not changing it. I don't know. The best was um it wouldn't be popular there in Kansas City, but there's a guy who's in the league. And so, by the way, there are actors: Rainn Wilson, John Krasinski, Andy Buckley, myself. There's also directors, there's writers, there's crew members, and the assistant camera operator, Chris Workman, fantastic guy, huge football fan, great golfer too, by the way. He was a 49ers fan. So there was like, I don't know, it feels like 10 years where his name used the word gore. So from Frank Gore. So it was like gorelicious, gore. I don't know. There was more gore. Gore is more. Gore is no more. There was always something gore related for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I like that. I want to talk. You brought up directing there very quickly, and you actually had a chance to direct a Office episode after hours. That was your directorial debut, I believe. What was that like? Not just being an actor, but now you are actually directing something.
Oh, I loved it. I had such a great time. I had directed quite a bit in theater. My my past life, my past profession. I worked in the theater and I had directed there. Um, but we had an amazing cinematographer, camera operators who really understood the show and how it worked. So that it was definitely cheating on that regard, but being able to work with the other actors. And it was a complicated episode that after hours we were a lot of it was spent in Florida. There was a trip down. The Office gang, half of the Office gang were in Florida, and there was a kind of some Jim Pam drama going on. But it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, your first time doing the director activity on that episode, at least for The Office, and the alleged is Jim was supposed to cheat on Pam, and John was like, "No, I'm not doing that. We're not going to have that in the episode." So you had to deal with that on your Office directorial debut.
Yeah, it was never, and a lot has been discussed about that episode. This was with the character Kathy, who had come in, and I know at some point somebody said that it was written for him to cheat. That was never the issue. I think that what was the conversation and the controversy was sort of around for the drama to happen, there had to be this awkward encounter. But for everybody to know that Jim was not tempted to cheat while Pam was gone. So there was a lot of discussion. And part of it had to do with what The Office, in my opinion, what makes it so special was the attention to detail about the camera and where the camera was, and the fact that finding an excuse for Kathy to be in his room with the camera not in his room, so no witnesses to what was happening. Of course, it was witnessing because it was hidden, but sort of where that camera was. And anyway, yes, there was a lot of discussion during that episode from both Jenna and John about that relationship and not wanting to alienate fans because of it. But it made it all the more special for me.
So I lived in Philly for 3 years, so I knew some folks that lived in Scranton. What is that reception from you, at least your perception of that? Do people from Scranton dig you guys, or is it like, thanks for now, that's all we are known for is The Office? Because anytime I met someone from Scranton, I'm like, yeah, so big Office fan, huh?
Uh, I mean, I think I can say this. I have probably the one who's gone back the most. If I'm doing a tour of really any kind, I put Scranton on there as destinations that I'm going to go to, the book or if I'm doing something, I want to bring Scranton into it. They are so they are so receptive. They are so generous, so supportive of not just what I do, but other cast members as well. And there was a headline. Gosh, I can't remember the newspaper. It might have been the Scranton Times. It might have been in Philly, but um, the headline, this was when The Office had our first kind of convention there. We all went to town, not knowing what was going to happen. The Today Show showed up. Al Roker was right there outside the University of Scranton. So this is roughly season 3 or 4. Um, and there were tens of thousands of people who came to the town, and we were like, what is going on? I mean, that for me, that was like the first, like, whoa, like this is but the headline, to go back, was from coal to cool. And all of the people in town have expressed their appreciation for making, sort of putting Scranton back on the map and for making it a cool place again. And, I was just in New York. There was a fan event going on. So I traveled to the Meadowlands in New Jersey, right outside of New York City. And I can't tell you the number of people who said, on my way here, we went to Scranton. It's only a couple hours away yesterday. And we went to, the Bog, and we went to the Times building, and we went to the paper company building, and went to some of the bar establishments that the cast has had Sam Adams Oktoberfest in a number of times. So it's pretty cool. I'll share this with you. The last time I was there, I was shooting something. Again, came back to Scranton, and I'm in the mall, the central town center there by City Hall, and these three people came up to me, Italian, but like Italy Italian, Sicily, I think is where they were from, that had come to the United States, New York City, and had gone to Scranton because they were fans of The Office. And they were visiting some of the local sites, like Poor Richards is another one that everybody goes to. And they were visiting sites, and someone was like, hey, and this is with English, that is not their first language. Hey, I think you should go to City Hall right now. There's somebody you might want to see. And they had come, and watching their brains explode because they were with me. Like, how is he? Why does he live here? Like this sort of like trying to understand. We just came here to like see the sights, and now you're standing here. It was a pretty, it was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, he just lives here. He just
Yeah.
actually just they all
I just
live
hang
in
I just
Scranton.
hang out at City Hall, just the plaza on every day.
That's what they do. It's
Yeah,
it's real. It was all real. Uh,
exactly.
I see the Peacocks, the paper is going to be carrying on the workplace comedy tradition. Any chance we see a Kevin Malone appearance?
I don't know about that, but I will say I just, the trailer just launched a few days ago. I thought they did a great job on the trailer. I mean, I can't wait to see it. Um because Greg Daniels is in charge, and whatever he does is incredible. So I had no doubt about that, but I thought they did a really good job of putting it together, making it clear this is something totally new. But I think you will. Well, this is not like me based on watching the trailer. I was like, oh, this looks a lot like The Office. So I was excited to see it. I'm excited to see the show coming out, and I just Greg, his other show, which by the way, you should. We're not talking about this, and I have nothing to do with it. But Upload, if you haven't seen Upload, it's a really cool, interesting show that I was a fan of, and I just moderated. So I was back with Greg and their cast there at San Diego Comic Con last week, but was able to hang out with Greg a little bit, and that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. As an actor, whenever you watch back some of the episodes, do you watch it from an actor perspective, a fan perspective? And like, for example, like Scott's Tots, do you ever cringe during that? Like from the fans, like that one, I love the episode, but it's hard to not get that like, ooh, you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
for sure. Oh, for sure. You know, I've talked about this a little bit, and it's not that I'm not a fan of other things that I have done, because some shows I am, and some like I watch and then get invited to participate, and that's really fun. I don't really watch myself though. So I may watch an episode of something because I'm a fan of the show, and I watch that. The Office was different. I I always watched that, and felt like I was a fan, and felt sort of cheesy saying like I'm a fan of this show even though I was a part of it. So, I went back, um wrote a book sort of detailing the journey of the show. So this was like maybe 18 or 19, 18 going into 19, 2019. Went back start to finish. And that was the first time I had done that. Like I'd picked up episodes here or there on Comedy Central or whatever, but I went back start to finish and watched it. And I watched it as a fan. And certainly other memories came back, or things that happened that day as we were shooting, but also things, it had been so long since we'd filmed early episodes for sure, like that I was like, oh man, I forgot this episode or this storyline even, or and so that was really fun for me. But no, to answer your specific question, I watch it now as a fan, and I just, all the other stuff sort of goes away. Whereas there's really not anything else that I've worked on where everything else does go away. I'm either evaluating myself, or why did I do that? Or, no, this could have been done better or whatever. I just watch it as a fan now.
Did you ever have a favorite moment then when you watch it back now? Like for me, the basketball episode, and that's so early on, that one always makes me laugh incredibly hard. But do you have like a favorite moment now when you look back on The Office?
Yeah, it's hard for me. That is something that's hard for me, especially sort of the, you know, quote unquote big moments where things happen. They were either happening outside of the show or, big in terms of the story, Jim and Pam kissing for the first time, or, like all of those, um, the Dundies where we sort of are finally let out of the office and are like the first real show where we shoot something outside of the office. But for me, because I am such a big sports fan, the first Super Bowl that I ever went to, was invited to, The Office aired after that Super Bowl, and the episode was stress relief. So the fake fire drill and CPR and all of that stuff, like that has a real special memory and feeling for me. One, because I think the episode, which was an hour episode, was really good, but also just that sort of puts us as a part of sports culture as well. The fact that it aired there brings added meaning for me.
Yeah, you have no idea how many flights on a plane I've seen that stress relief episode. It's too many to count. I know we got to get out of here. I want to say I really, really appreciate the time here. Massive fan of The Office. Massive fan of Sam Adams. Sam Adams Oktoberfest again. Absolutely elite. Good luck this year in fantasy football. That second overall draft pick. Do not take a cheap second overall. That is a reach and a half. Brian Baumgartner. Brian, really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Sterling. Good luck to the Chiefs this year. If there's one thing I can promise you is that I'll be watching.